This recording is from the June 2013 Regents exam, and we're talking constitutional concepts here. We're going to go with question number 5. Which major issue was debated at the Constitutional Convention in 1787 and contributed directly to the start of the Civil War? All right, so we're thinking constitutional concept and something that is a rift between the North and the South. Regulation of interstate commerce, setting of qualifications for federal office, length of presidential term of office, balance of power between the states and the national government. Go ahead and pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, and come back. Welcome back. So we have to have something that we were dealing with at this Constitutional Convention and on the Civil War. So hopefully you got rid of maybe 2 and 3 and you chose 4. So the balance of power between the states and the national government, remember, that's going to be federalism. And at the Constitutional Convention, we had been dealing with the fact that under the Articles, the states had way too much power and it clearly was not working for us. So we had to redefine that balance. And then the Civil War, you had the states feeling like they could nullify a national government law, and also the fact that they didn't feel like they were being represented. So that's why they seceded. So that's why the answer is 4. All right, so question number 6. The United States and New York State constitutions establish Republican, small r, forms of government because each provides for a standing army, elected representatives, control over the money supply, a system of implied powers. All right, so pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, and come back. Welcome back. Maybe you got rid of 1 and 3 and you chose 2. Anytime you see Republican, small r, that's talking about elective representatives, because the founding fathers realized that a direct democracy was not going to work because we can't all just go vote on every time there needs to be a vote for a bill. So that's why we elect people to go on our behalf and vote, and that's what that is. Elected representatives is a small r Republican form of government. All right, number 7. What was the primary objection of the anti-federalists to ratification of the Constitution? All right, so I'm thinking to myself, anti-federalists. They didn't like big government and they wanted the Bill of Rights. So let's see if there's something like that in the answer. 1, they opposed a bicameral legislature. 2, they believed the rights of the people were not protected. 3, they feared a weak central government. 4, they wanted to give more power to the executive branch. All right, so pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, and come back. All right, maybe you got rid of 1 and 3. They feared a weak central government. Actually, they feared a strong central government, so that's why we get rid of 3. They believed the rights of the people were not protected, and that is exactly why they wanted the Bill of Rights, because they felt like we have to list these rights in order for them to be protected. And then remember, the 9th Amendment is an inclusion, because we wanted to make sure that just because it's not listed there doesn't mean that it's not protected. All right, so question number 8, it says, base your answers to question 8 on the excerpts or parts from the United States Constitution below and on your knowledge of social studies. So we have to read the question first. Which basic constitutional concept is illustrated by each of these provisions? So we're looking for a constitutional concept. All right, so from Article 1, Section 9, and we know that Article 1 sets up the legislative branch. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. And then we have Amendment 4. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. All right, so which basic constitutional concept is illustrated by each of these provisions? 1, balancing individual liberty and the need for order in society. 2, dividing power between the Senate and the House of Representatives. 3, guaranteeing equal treatment of minority groups. 4, providing flexibility to meet changing needs through the elastic clause. So go ahead, pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, and come back. All right, welcome back. So if you had trouble with this question, maybe you could do process of elimination. And so we're talking about the privilege of writ of habeas corpus, which means you can just be thrown in jail without any further action by the government. And then you have search and seizure here. So hopefully maybe you got rid of 2 and 3, because we're not talking about the difference between the Senate and the House of Representatives. And then this doesn't mention anything about just minority groups. So, but the right answer is number 1, balancing individual liberty and the need for order in society. And so that's where you get both Article 1, Section 9 and Amendment 4. Okay, so the last question we're going to do for this video. According to the Constitution, the President is required to sign or veto bills passed by Congress, establish income taxes, review Supreme Court decisions, or raise money for political parties. All right, so you're going to pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, and come back. All right, so hopefully you got rid of maybe 2 and 3 and you chose 1. Sign or veto bills passed by Congress. That is part of what it says that he has to do in Article 2 that establishes the executive branch. So he can either sign them or he can veto them or he can do nothing for 10 days, and that's called a pocket veto when Congress is not in session. He can establish income tax rates. That's what Congress does, specifically the House. And then review Supreme Court decisions. He doesn't get to do that. That's not part of his job. And then raise money for political parties. It doesn't say that in the Constitution, and the question says according to the Constitution, because the Constitution doesn't even mention political parties, so that can't be the answer. All right, so that's it for today's video on constitutional concepts.